Welcome everyone to Around 10. It's a Friday, February 25th, the last Friday in February. Harvey, can you believe it?
Well, I already established that Wednesday was the last Wednesday in February, so I think I'm getting
You're
used to
almost there.
that.
And then our Monday show will be the last Monday of February and
Oh.
the last Monday of the day. But we're not there yet. It's Friday. And what are we talking about today?
Well, I mean, we got a good show. We got there's stuff obviously happening around the world.
Yeah.
Crazy things happening in Ukraine. There's a big storm up north,
Yep.
right? We're gonna watch that, and we got our Black History Month update. We've got a great guest here from Voices of Hope, Jimmy Chadwell, to talk to. And you guys have been doing district tournament stuff all week long.
That's right. Yeah. Tonight is the fourth and final night of the district tournament. We'll find out who wins the championship there. But we'll get to all that and more here on Around 10 right after this. Around 10 is brought to you by the Frankfort Plant Board with support from Tim and Rebecca Hubbard, local realtors who treat you like family, and Exit Realty Crutcher, working to be the #1 real estate office in Frankfort and throughout Kentucky. We are back here on Around 10, Frankfort's very own morning show. I'm Zach Hubbard. Joining me on the other side of the screen, all the way from Midway, Harvey Couch.
A long commute in from 421 today.
From Midway by way of New Orleans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things are getting going down there. We're full Mardi Gras season in New Orleans right now. Tuesday is Fat Tuesday.
This upcoming Tuesday, March 1st, is Fat Tuesday.
Yep.
Okay.
So this is the big weekend when everything gets crazy down there.
When was the last time you were in, I'm just throwing this on you on the fly, but when was the last time you were in New Orleans for Mardi Gras?
So I was down there like maybe 5 years ago. There was a work conference like a week before Mardi Gras, so I got a little flavor. But the last time that I was actually there for Mardi Gras Day was actually the year after Katrina, so it was 2006. So it was definitely different, but it was very celebratory about the city. It was sort of
Like rebuilding,
Right.
and
So that was a long time. My kids have never been down. They really want to go. And believe it or not, it actually is. It's a pretty family-friendly experience. If
There are certain sectors of
you
it.
just
that are
don't
family.
go to Bourbon Street. I mean, it's everything
There's still
else.
pride on bourbon, but
But there's just I mean, it's everybody. It's a celebration for the city. So there's obviously lots of families and kids. You know, and you go out and it's a good time.
That's fun. Yeah, love New Orleans. Yeah, I went last year actually, like in the summer where before like Delta had hit.
Yeah,
So I was able to
little sweet spot there.
Yeah, I found that little sweet spot there. It was a lot of fun, Harvey. I had a good time. Good time in your city.
We'll take you. Well, you're welcome anytime.
Awesome. I would love to go back. Yeah, you got to hear more music this upcoming time. But like you said, it's around 10 here. It's a Friday. Me and Harvey are hanging out with you. We got lots to get to today. But really, it's been really hard seeing the news, Harvey, in the last 2 days, and just refreshing Twitter and finding out news and staying on CNN and different outlets and seeing the Russian invasion of Ukraine. And really, if you can today, just spare a thought or a prayer if you're into that for the folks in the Ukraine that are experiencing this right now. It's just it's really scary to see.
Yeah, and it was. I usually the morning of the show, I'll sit down and kind of go through Twitter and see, if anything jumps out, and it's that's all there is, which is, it's obviously massive news. Also think about somebody talked about, think about the Russian soldiers that are likely, they don't really want to be going in there probably, and they're getting shot at, and so really no winners at all in that situation. So everybody involved.
Yeah, and I've seen similar posts like that as well from Russian individuals and citizens who are like, we do not support what's happening, and please do not,
sure.
Put this on like the Russian citizens, and to their credit, there's been a lot of protests, right? I think in St. Petersburg and different places all in Russia, anti-war protests. So. Just if you can spare a thought today, and for those folks, and be mindful of your own mental health as well, because it can be a tough and really helpless feeling, dark place if you're just on Twitter and seeing all of these news and staying on top of it. And it's important to stay on top of it, but take care of yourself in the process, right?
Yeah, and really piling on. I mean, it has been a tough, 6 years really for a lot of people, right? And so just gotta take care of yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And then hearts go out to and there's a winter storm too, Harvey, up
Yeah.
in the Northeast. That's gonna just create an absolute nightmare for commuters and folks trying to navigate through the ice and snow. Hundreds of flights been canceled and school delays and cancellations. So, thoughts for those people as well.
Yeah, all my wife's family is up in Connecticut, so I get boots on the ground reporting about how they're handling that stuff. And
Now, are they getting prepped and are
yeah,
they ready?
yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
that's good.
So I mean they they know how to handle it up there, but it's the volume is often so great that there's nothing. I was up there one winter, and I mean I swear they got like 2 feet of snow, and it's just like, well, I guess we're not leaving the house for a couple days.
Yeah.
You just sort of batten down the hatches and deal with it. But
Wow. And it's funny how different communities, if they're used to it, right? Or if something like that happens in Colorado, like
right.
they're just more prepared for stuff like that. And like we are too, to an extent, but you hear some areas, especially down like further south, that are not used to that at all. They get like
doesn't know what to do.
they get like 4 inches of snow, and it's like a catastrophe.
Yeah, it's like Walking Dead, basically. But yeah, no. So yeah, thoughts for them, and that let's stay positive the rest of the
That's right.
of the
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
Zach.
We're
got
trying
the-
to stay
morning
positive
show.
here and a lighthearted approach to to stuff going on here in Kentucky and in Frankfort, our community here. And speaking of things going on around here with weather, we don't have a weather update from Dylan today.
No.
But you've got me and Harvey on the case.
I mean, you had us we did it for 2 years, and it was great.
We
And
can
then
pick
all of a
up-
sudden, we get some professional in here to do the weather.
we don't have a fancy Doppler or we don't have a radar or anything. We're not. It's just the Zach and Harvey storm team right
Yeah,
here.
yeah. It's gonna be cold and cloudy basically the next few days, all weekend. I
Yeah.
think. They're saying maybe a chance of flurries today, but I think really just very mild. But mostly cloudy skies this weekend, highs in the high 40s. But
Yeah, I think like
There's a-
Sunday, maybe a high of 51.
yeah, but I'm looking long term. I'm trying to find some sunshine, and
Yeah.
it looks like maybe next weekend we might be up in the 60s with some sunshine.
It looks like it goes up throughout the week too, a
Yeah.
little bit. Like starting out high
It's
40s,
March.
and
Everything-
then like
it's
middle
just-
of the week might be up to the 50s and
Like
60s.
you said, we're entering the fake spring
Yes.
season,
That's
which I'll
right.
take. I like better than winter. You know?
Yeah, it is
And-
definitely. It feels like that fake spring, and then we're gonna get that second winter that
Yeah.
might come middle of March.
All the flowers will start blooming, and then there will be a hard freeze and kill everything. That's how it works. But it's okay.
I thought we were gonna stay positive today.
No, you're right. I'm sorry.
But yeah, I'm happy for that. I'm happy for dry weather, Harvey, because it rained
It has been so
all
wet.
day yesterday, and it's been rainy throughout the week. And that's my hot take. That's my least favorite weather thing is when it's rainy and cold. Like I can take the cold, I can take some rain, but when you talk about
Let me ask you this: would you prefer like 50 and rainy or 30 and snow? Getting that snow is still wet, but like it's not quite as like.
yeah, 30 and snow
You would, yeah.
for sure.
I'm with you on that. I think if it's going to be cold and there's going to be precipitation, I'd rather some snow. I'd be a
Yeah,
little
because
bit colder.
50 is still like too cold for rain for me.
Right.
I would rather it be, if it's like raining, I want it to be spring or summer, where it's like in maybe the 70s or 80s and it's raining, and it might even cool things off a little bit,
Right,
especially around here. But I'm not a fan of that cold, or like really anything below like 50 and rainy is just not. That's not the vibe. It just feels so miserable. It makes it so much colder.
Right.
So yeah. But Harvey, to that end, it leads really into our question of the day. That's an interesting subject, talking about weather. And we're just asking folks out there, if you're watching on cable or YouTube, pop on over to Facebook and let us know how you feel about this. Would you rather be outside during extreme heat or extreme cold? I think there are a lot of theories about this, right, and how you can approach a weather situation like this. Where do you land on this issue, Harvey?
I am 100% in the extreme cold group here.
Yes.
And my thought, and again, I think this comes from growing up in a place that is very hot.
Yeah.
I have used up all of my patience for heat. And and my thought process is always I can add more clothes. And, it's still going to be cold, but you can at least bundle up and deal with it.
Yeah.
The opposite is not the case when it's hot. There's nothing you can do without exterior, fans, air conditioning. I guess ice, you could sit on a piece of ice or something. Like that my thing is I'm 100% in. I'd rather be in extreme cold.
Yeah, because you could layer up
Right.
during extreme cold, and I feel you. Or you can get some hot hands or something. You have some gloves. Like there are things you can do, which to that end, there are things you can do for extreme heat as well. But there's only so much you can legally remove, clothing wise.
Well, and even if you take it all off, you're still hot. There's nothing. You're not fixing that problem.
It's not stopping the stickiness and being
Right.
sweaty and everything else. Yeah.
I can keep adding gloves and hats and scarves, and eventually I'm going to feel pretty warm, except for whatever is exposed to the air.
Yeah. And Crystal chimes in. She agrees with us. Extreme cold, hands down.
Sure.
And so, yeah, we'll let some more comments and things roll through. Amanda says, cold for sure. Winter is her preferred camping season.
See?
That's right. No ticks.
That's
no ticks,
true.
Harvey.
And, I don't know about you. When I sleep, I like it to be a little cold, right? You get bundled up a little bit. It helps you sleep a little better. So, yeah, same like she said, camping in the winter.
Are you like a fan type of person in the bedroom or no?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My fan in the bedroom, I don't think has been turned off since 2005. And the thing is just like so sad. It's just groaning at how hard it works.
Just roaming along. Yeah.
Just constantly. Yeah, no, always a fan.
I have friends that, it's almost more, it's about the cold, but it's also more about the white noise.
Yeah, we have like white noise on a speaker, so that's not. It's just the air movement, and it's not even like hot or cold. 'Cause I don't know if you knew
circulating.
that your ceiling fan has a little switch on it. Did you know that, Zach? Did you know
Yeah,
that?
where it
Okay.
goes the other way, right?
Right, and so
Yeah.
there's like winter where it blows the air up, and then in
right.
the summer it blows the air down. I was like 35 years old when I learned this, I think, but it's a thing. And so you switch it when it's wintertime, so it's not blowing on you, but it is moving the air in the room.
Yeah, it's all about air circulation,
Right.
With the flow.
There was a time, I think a few weeks ago, when somehow the fan got turned off in the bedroom, and I woke up like first thing in the morning. I was like,
What's happening?
who turned the fan off?
You got
So
somehow got
stale
3
in
hours
here.
of sleep, felt awful.
Yeah.
A couple more comments. Leslie Smith says she would go with the cold. You could prepare for cold, like we were saying, but people talk about you if you're naked, right?
point.
At the very least, they do.
It sounds like Leslie might speak from experience there. Sure.
It sounds like maybe she has had a glimpse into my nightmares. Usually my nightmares somehow end up with me naked somewhere I shouldn't be, like in a public place. Yeah, not fun.
Right.
David Hecker also, last one before we move on, he would much rather deal with the cold. You can even use snow as an insulator
That's a good point.
if necessary. There you go. So, folks, keep chiming in. That's our question of the day, asking you if you'd rather be outside during extreme heat or extreme cold. Here in Kentucky, we get a little bit of both.
Sometimes on the same day.
So we got experience here from our viewers.
We're looking for somebody to give us a hot take on wanting to be hot, because it seems like we've been pretty
Yeah,
consistent
where's our
on-
extreme hot people out there? Yeah.
I feel like I've heard those people exist.
They do exist. That's why I'm curious. Yeah, this is your moment. Rise up. But we'll check back in on that, and please, folks, continue to comment on things throughout the show, and we'll be sure to talk about it. Usually generates some good discussion for us here. But Harvey, before we move on here, let's talk about Black History Month.
Yeah, let's do it. Every February, the United States honors the contributions and sacrifices of African Americans who have helped shape the nation. Black History Month celebrates the rich cultural heritage, triumphs, and adversities that are an indelible part of our country's history.
Yeah.
Zach, who are we spotlighting today?
Yeah, today we are highlighting Wilma Rudolph. She became the first African American woman to win 3 gold medals in track and field at a single Olympics. Rudolph is remembered as one of the fastest women in track and as a source of great inspiration for generations of athletes. She once stated, quote, "Winning is great, sure, but if you are really going to do something in life, the secret is learning how to lose. Nobody goes undefeated all the time. If you can pick up after a crushing defeat and go on to win again, you are going to be a champion someday." And I absolutely love that quote and that sentiment. That's a really a good touchstone, really, to try and live your life on, right? To pick yourself back up. I absolutely love that. A little information on Wilma Rudolph. She was born prematurely on June 23rd, 1940, in St. Bethlehem, Tennessee. Stricken with double pneumonia, scarlet fever, and polio as a child, she had problems with her left leg and had to wear a brace. It was with great determination and the help of physical therapy that she was able to overcome her disabilities. Nicknamed Skeeter for her famous speed, Rudolph qualified for the 1956 Summer Olympic Games in Melbourne, Australia. The youngest member of the U.S. track and field team at age 16, she won a bronze medal in the 400-meter relay. Can you imagine doing that at 16? It's incredible. After finishing high school, Rudolph enrolled at Tennessee State University, where she studied education, and she also trained very hard for the next Olympics.
Yep, and those next Olympics in 1960 were held in Rome. After tying a world record with her time of 11.3 seconds in the 100-meter semifinals, she won the event with her wind-aided mark of 11 flat in the finals. Similarly, she broke the Olympic record in the 200-meter dash at 23.2 seconds in the heats before claiming another gold medal with her time of 24 flat. She was also part of the U.S. team that established the world record in the 400-meter relay before going on to win a gold with a time of 44.5 seconds. As a result, she became the first American woman to win 3 gold medals in track and field at a single Olympic Games.
Wow.
Following the Games, she made numerous appearances on television, received several honors, including the AP Female Athlete of the Year award in both 1960 and 1961. She retired from competition not long after and went on to teach, coach, and run a community center, among other endeavors. In the 1980s, she was inducted into the U.S. Olympic Hall of Fame and established the Wilma Rudolph Foundation to promote amateur athletics. She died on November 12th, 1994, after a battle with brain cancer.
Yeah, so just what an incredible figure in American history and American sports history, in particular the Olympics. Yeah, and just I'll reiterate, I love that sentiment of just picking yourself back up and how you respond to defeats or to failure really defines how you are and whether or not you're going to be a champion.
Yeah, exactly. How you become a champion.
Yeah, it's like a necessary step to becoming a champion. So, really glad we were able to highlight Wilma Rudolph today. Harvey, let's move into our Working on Wellness segment today. Working on Wellness is a segment where we partner with the Franklin County Health Department and aim to educate our viewers on a different subject in public health field and how it affects fellow Kentuckians. And today, our guest is Jimmy Chadwell with Voices of Hope in Lexington. Welcome to the show, Jimmy.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. We're so glad to have you. Let's tell our viewers here. Again, we're working on wellness with the Franklin County Health Department, but let's remind our viewers. Tell them what Voices of Hope is.
Voices of Hope is a recovery community center. It's based in Lexington, Kentucky, and we partner with the University of Kentucky Healing Community Study to serve different counties in the area. And the goal of the Healing Community Study, the overall goal is to reduce overdose deaths by 40% over the course of the study through the counties they serve.
So where you it's the Voices of Hope in Lexington, but we're here in Franklin County. You guys are working with the health department. So where are you all located here locally?
I'm actually placed at the Franklin County Health Department Syringe Exchange Program at 100 Glens Creek Road here in Frankfort. We're open from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if you come around the back of the health department, you'll see a tent. And if you walk through the tent, you'll see a window, and you'll see me there from 12 to 3 with my colleagues Marie Winfrey and Jason Ray. Jason's a health education coordinator. Marie is a syringe exchange program coordinator. And I'm a lead recovery coach with Voices of Hope and also an adult peer support specialist.
Wow. So, Jimmy, explain to us how your services work there with Voices of Hope.
Okay. So basically, if someone comes to the syringe exchange program, we offer recovery support services and recovery coaching services, which would help an individual that uses drugs or suffers from addiction to build their recovery capital. Those recovery support services may look like daily and weekly calls to check and see how the individual's recovery is going, linkage to medications for opioid use disorder like buprenorphine, methadone, naltrexone. You may have heard naltrexone referred to as Vivitrol. It's a monthly injection that blocks the opioid receptor and reduces cravings. We also connect participants to residential treatment options like 30-day inpatient treatment, detox services, etc. And also, a lot of what I do individually is connect participants to resources that can help with their recovery journey. So, for instance, if a participant comes to the Syringe Exchange program and they're a person that is currently experiencing homelessness, we can connect them with community resources such as the Franklin County Women's Shelter, the Simon House Emergency Shelter, or Access Men's Shelter. We can actually give them a housing application to apply for income-based housing. If another individual came with a transportation barrier, we have bus passes available at the Syringe Exchange program that are provided for by the Healing Community Study as well. We have food resources from the Mission Baptist Clinic, which includes bags of food, food vouchers for $75 to the local Save-A-Lot here in Frankfort. We actually have cell phones at times with 2 months of free service. So if an individual has the barrier of communication to continue their recovery journey, we can provide them with a cell phone with 2 months of free service that's paid for by our grant, so they can communicate with their sponsor if they're in a 12-step fellowship, communicate with me as their recovery coach or one of my colleagues, their family, really whatever they need to get their recovery journey started. We have something called a barrier relief program where we can try to alleviate any miscellaneous barrier that might come up for the participant. So, for instance, yesterday I had a participant that didn't have money to get a driver's license that was seeking employment. And without a driver's license, we all know a lot of times you can't get hired on for a job if you don't have that identification. So we were able to give him the funding via our barrier relief program to purchase the ID so he can move on with this process of obtaining employment.
That's amazing. So many just vital resources there. And Jimmy, you mentioned Healing Community Study, which we'll wrap back around to. We'll put a pin in that. But I really like what you said about aiding in the recovery journey, right? Because it is a journey. It's not a flip a switch and you're in recovery, right? Or you are recovered, so to speak. It's a journey, and I think having folks like you as a resource for individuals is just so huge, because I think it provides that accountability too, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. It definitely does. That's part of what the daily and weekly phone calls consist of. Yeah. Because I know when I was early on in recovery, being a person in recovery myself, Voices of Hope called me before I ever started working for them when they were early on in their in the beginning of the organization. Mm-hmm. And just having that weekly call for someone to say, hey, how's your recovery going? It reminds you that you're suffering from a disease that's often fatal, and it reminds you the seriousness of it, that a complete stranger would call me and ask how my recovery's going.
Yeah.
I also wanted to highlight harm reduction. Harm reduction is a term that you probably heard in the news a lot lately on social media. And harm reduction, to me, for me to really completely understand what it was and the need for it, I had to understand how it applied to the community as a whole. So someone who doesn't use drugs may use harm reduction in a manner such as applying chapstick to their lips to keep them from being chapped, sunscreen to their skin to prevent a sunburn. When on the other side of the coin, someone who does use drugs may use harm reduction in a manner that consists of having Narcan available to reduce an overdose, or to have sanitary using supplies to reduce the transmission of HIV, hepatitis C, and reduce the risk of infection as well. So it's really important for us to support these harm reduction efforts. We also have Narcan available, and obviously safe using supplies as well at the Syringe Exchange program, because if we don't help the individual stay alive, then they don't have the opportunity to get into recovery, and for us to provide them those recovery resources, because without Narcan and harm reduction, they won't be alive to access the resources.
And we actually had Marie Winfrey on a couple weeks ago from the health department talking about the harm reduction Syringe Exchange program. Yeah, so yeah. We loved having her here.
Yeah, and I mean, something that Marie talked about and you touched on, Jimmy, was how gaining the trust of the folks, right, really helps then be able to bring them along the journey to get help with other things, and really then they start to trust the people there to help make sure that they're looking out for their best interest, right? And do you see that every day when you talk to these guys, talk to these folks as they're going through their journey?
Absolutely. Oftentimes they ask for me individually because they know that I'm in recovery. I try to make that one of the first things that I try to get across to them because it's an easier way for them to build rapport because they know that I've been through the same experience that they have. And that I'm on the other side of it now. I can just easily be in their position as well, but it's a lot easier for them to build trust and ask me for the resources they need. They don't feel as embarrassed because they know that I've been there myself. So I think it adds a little bit of approachability that wouldn't otherwise be there if I wasn't a person in recovery myself too. So.
Well, Jimmy, you mentioned it earlier. We wanted to wrap back around to it. The Healing Communities study. What is that? And what's the overall goal of the study?
Right. So the University of Kentucky Healing Communities study is we're actually in wave 1 of the study right now. We've partnered with them at Voices with the University of Kentucky to implement the study, and the overall goal of the study is to reduce overdoses by 40%. Over the course of the study in the counties that we serve. We're starting to plan wave 2, so we'll be in 8 different counties. We're currently in the first 8 counties now, and then once wave 2 starts, we'll be in a separate set of counties.
Yeah. Okay. And we've been talking about it. Again, we've got Jimmy Chadwell here with Voices of Hope. We've been talking about the impacts that you've seen really in this program. Just further expand on that if you don't mind.
Okay. So we've had the opportunity to sign up 113 participants since last February at the Syringe Exchange Program. Upwards towards 20 of them have had 30-day or longer success in the treatment that we've linked them to. And we've even had a few that have had months of continued and still have continued meaningful recovery since linking them and communicating with them and trying to build a recovery capital. So we're definitely proud of that. All of the resources that we mentioned too, it really takes all of that in a comprehensive approach to help the individual achieve that state. So we're definitely proud of those people that have achieved sustained recovery since being linked.
Yeah, you should be. Yeah, it's just excellent.
Yeah, you talked about, it sounds like a lot of community partners, right, that are helping resources or things. How, if somebody out there is watching that is either, part of a group that might be able to provide help, or they just individually want to help, what would be, how could they get involved?
Absolutely. We have a lot of volunteer opportunities, especially in Lexington, where Voices of Hope is primarily based in Lexington. If you would like to volunteer or help out with any of our efforts, you can visit our website. It's www.voicesofhopelex.org, or you can reach out to me personally on my work cell. It's 859-684-2338. If you were interested in something more Franklin County centered, I would be the one to reach out to. So feel free to give us a call. Check out our website. We also offer a lot of different recovery meetings, smart recovery meetings in Franklin County that are on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Those are available exclusively virtually for now. All of the links to access those are on the website at voicesofhopelex.org.
Awesome. Jimmy Chadwell with Voices of Hope, thank you so much for coming on the show today and talking about this vital program serving Franklin County and Lexington. Thank you so much for being on, Jimmy.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Harvey, let's get into our headlines for today.
Good.
So we found out the Salado Wildlife Center is due to reopen.
Salado, right? Salado.
Yeah, Salado.
No, it's
tomato,
not.
tomato. How about that?
Let's
It's
call
due
the
to
whole thing
reopen
off.
March 15th. So mark your calendars. They'll resume operating hours of Tuesday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. starting March 15th. Admission is $5 for adults, $3 for children ages 5 through 18, and for those 4 and under, you can get in for free. Tickets can be purchased online in advance or at the door, and they also offer yearly memberships for individuals and families. For more information, current health guidelines and to purchase tickets and membership, you can visit their website. You can just Google Salado or Salado Wildlife Center, and you can find out their website from there. Harvey, did I ever tell you that was one of my first jobs?
Really?
Jobs?
At the Wildlife Center?
Yeah, yeah. I volunteered there for a little bit. I think it was before I worked. It had to have been before I worked at Domino's. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Domino's was my first
Was that
job.
where you wore the frog outfit?
No, I did that years later. I actually had a memory pop up on Facebook today that reminded me of those times when I was in a frog costume.
Yeah.
Wandering around somewhere here in Frankfurt.
Well, Salado Center is an awesome resource. And,
yeah.
Especially for those of us with kids that are looking for things to do on the weekend. It's just a great spot to go. So we'll count down the days until March 15th and start getting kids out there.
Yeah.
Okay, Zach, we talked about the Ukraine thing. I saw this story. Do you remember the Klitschko brothers?
Yeah.
They were. I mean, there was a span of time where either one of the other were basically like the world heavyweight boxing champs.
Yeah, that was right around probably when I was actually watching a
like
decent
the
amount of
mid-aughts.
boxing. Boxing was a bigger deal then.
Yeah,
than
it was
now.
probably about 15 years ago or so, and I had totally forgotten that Vitaly went into politics. I mean, I remember when it happened, they were like, "Oh yeah, Vitaly Klitschko is going to go be." Well, he went to go be mayor of Kyiv in Ukraine. If you forgot that. So
Wow.
Vitaly Klitschko is the mayor of Ukraine's capital and has been since 2014.
Oh my gosh.
He said today that he's going to take up arms alongside his brother and fellow Hall of Famer Vladimir Klitschko to fight in what is a, quote, bloody war following Russia's invasion of their country, Ukraine. The 50-year-old, known as Dr. Iron Fist during his fighting days, said, quote, "I don't have another choice. I have to do that. I'll be fighting." Vitaly Klitschko said Kyiv was under threat and the main priority was to work with police and military forces to support critical infrastructure, including the delivery of electricity, gas, and water for its citizens. So, that's the thing to consider is, not only is he saying, I'm going to go fight, shoulder to shoulder with soldiers, but it's they've also got to maintain, essential services to the people that live in, a pretty metropolitan city, right?
Yeah.
And just I couldn't even imagine.
I know. It's occupation, and from what we've seen, just bombings in the city itself, and
he added that civilians were ready to defend Kyiv as soldiers. Quote, "I believe in the Ukraine, I believe in my country, and I believe in my people." That was from Vitaly. His brother, former heavyweight champion Vladimir Klitschko, enlisted in Ukraine's reserve army earlier this month, saying that the love for his country compelled him to defend it. So, that's awesome.
yeah.
I mean, it's almost something out of a movie. I hope that the Klitschkos just destroy the entire. No, that's not reasonable, but that's
Yeah. Well, Harvey, we're gonna step aside here in just a second and take a break. We'll get into our community calendar and catch back up with Facebook as well. I know we've got some hot takes from folks out there. I can see it. I can sense it. But I feel like the last thing I remember from the Klitschkos was one of them married actress Hayden Panettiere. Do you remember?
I don't know if they married, but they definitely were together. They were an item for a while.
And
I'm not sure if
they've
they've
since divorced, but because it was wild to me because the height difference, right?
Yes.
He's a big guy, obviously a former heavyweight champion.
Yes.
He's 6'5", 6'6", probably,
Right.
and
Yeah.
she's smaller than me, 5 foot or something, or 4'11", something like that.
Yeah.
So I always thought that was fascinating. But yeah, it's really interesting there out of Ukraine, and of course that'll be a story that we'll be talking about for a long time. It kind of has changed world history, really, just seeing it unfold before our eyes. But Harvey, let's like I said, let's take a break, and then we'll come back and get into our community calendar and catch back up on our Facebook comments.
It's all over if they hit this field goal.
Buying or selling a home can be as exciting as winning a big game on a last-second field goal. Or it can be just as devastating if the kick doesn't go in.
And the kick goes up, and it's no good. Home team loses.
That's why in real estate it always helps to be on a winning team. Choose Tim and Rebecca Hubbard with Exit Realty Crutcher.
Real estate is what we do.
And families are why we do it.
Wait, how'd you get in here?
Exit Realty Crutcher strives to be a leader in the communities we serve. We focus on training, technology, and providing resources to ensure that our agents serve you with excellence. The foundation of our culture is built on family. We focus on agents' growth personally and professionally because we know that their success is really your success. If you're ready to explore an opportunity to buy or sell, contact us today and allow our family to help your family. Exit Realty Crutcher. Real estate is what we do. Families are why we do it.
We are back here on Around 10. Let's check back in on our question of the day, asking folks out there whether they'd rather be a little what would you rather, a fun would you rather, weather related, whether you'd rather be outside during extreme heat or extreme cold. Got some comments here, Harvey.
Yep. Stephanie Lane says, so she's coming in with her hot takes. She says, hot
right.
takes, literally. What's wrong with y'all? Give me my hot weather and sunshine. Love some vitamin D therapy. I agree with that. I like sunshine.
I do
But
love
we're talking
sunshine.
about extreme heat. I'm not down with that.
And with the way we're defining extreme heat would be, to me, it's like we're talking like 90s in
90
Kentucky,
plus.
100 degrees, something crazy where it's, the humidity is set into, it's
Right.
sticky, it's hot.
Yeah.
Can't do a lot to get away from it versus like extreme cold would be,
Like in the single digits, maybe?
single digits, teens, something like that. Yeah. Like
I mean,
it's-
neither of those
No
you
matter
wanna-
how you like layer up for that,
Yeah.
you're still going to be cold. Like
Yeah.
there's a layer of it that like you're still going to be pretty cold, but I don't know. I'd rather be freezing than just a sweaty mess. But that's just me. But Stephanie disagrees, and
great.
we love differing opinions
Yes.
here on Around 10.
Yeah.
Jimmy Swain comments here. Says years ago lived in, oh my gosh, I don't know how to pronounce this. Maracaibo?
Maracaibo? I think it's
Yeah,
Maracaibo.
Maracaibo, Venezuela, where temperatures hovered around 112 degrees.
no, thank you.
Therefore, he chooses cold and a mug of hot chocolate. And I
call.
do not blame you there, Mr. Swain.
Rebecca Hubbard says, no extremes, but if she was properly dressed, she would choose cold.
Oh, yeah. Yep, I can see that. I can see that from Becky.
And she also asked about, I think, the Klitschko's. They were, in fact, both brothers. And that's why that's their nicknames. He was Dr. Iron Fist, and his brother, Vladimir, was Dr. Steelhammer.
Oh, you mean doctors, right?
Actual doctors.
Yeah. So, okay.
They spoke multiple languages, and it was Vladimir who was with Hayden Panettiere. I think they were engaged, but not ever married. They also, a quick review of Wikipedia taught me that they're both avid chess players too.
Oh, wow.
Which is,
These guys have layers.
they are, yes.
They're like ogres and onions. Okay, let's get into our community calendar. Talking district tournament time. We have been highlighting the 41st District Basketball Tournament last week and all this week, and it comes to a conclusion tonight. We've got our championship games set. As you can see the graphic there on the boys' side, you've got Great Crossing Warhawks is the number 1 seed. They're going to take on the 2 seed of Western Hills on the boys' side. And on the girls, we've got Franklin County is your number 1 seed versus Great Crossing as the 2 seed. So there's an opportunity for local teams to try and get it done and take it to Scott County tonight. So we'll have to see. Just a quick breakdown of the games from this week on Wednesday night's games. We had in the 2 versus 3 seed matchups on Wednesday night, Frankfort High Lady Panthers fought valiantly against the Lady Warhawks from Great Crossing with great performances from Jemiah Chenault, Kendall Cook, and Rayleigh Ellis. But unfortunately, their efforts came up short in the end, losing 57-64, keeping things close until the final seconds of the game. Frankfort High can walk away from the season with their heads held high, finishing 14-13 on the season, and plenty of young talent returning for next season.
What's the prize for the Lady Warhawks winning this game, you ask? Well, it's just Joey Thacker's Franklin County Lady Flyers, who are 23-7 on the season, looking to add another district championship to the trophy shelf. Game tips off at 6 o'clock tonight, and after that you'll see the boys championship, which we found out Wednesday night, who will be facing Great Crossing, as we saw another crosstown clash. You see there, Western Hills and Franklin County. This one did not disappoint. It was a back and forth and physical matchup throughout the whole contest, seeing Franklin County's face mask donning Jaden Madison driving into the paint and defensive strength of Western Hills, Walter Campbell. But it was the clutch shooting of Zach Simones that sealed the deal for the Wolverines late and allowed Western Hills to close things out with a 60-52 victory and on to a shot at the district championship against the Warhawks tonight at 8.
Yeah.
So some great matchups we'll have tonight. You'll be able to watch them here on Cable 10, also on the Plant Boards Facebook page and the Cable 10 YouTube channel.
Yeah. And we mentioned Jaden Madison's face mask. He actually, I believe, broke his nose during the game that we shot. That was the other version of this matchup, but it was at Western Hills, and it wasn't in a district tournament. It was like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
It was Franklin County Western Hills. And, yeah, he accidentally ran into the back of Western Hills Walter Campbell and just started gushing blood, couldn't hardly get it stopped, really.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah,
I was
and he
there.
kind of and it started bleeding again a little bit 2 days later when we were at Franklin County when they took on Frankfort High and had that buzzer beater shot right at the very end. It was really exciting, but there was a moment where you were worried he was going to have to exit that game for a while too because like the blood started. I think he got grazed or something, and blood started then. But yeah, had some great games on Wednesday night. It was really fun to see. Frankfort High, the Lady Panthers there hanging on against Great Crossing until late. And they'll be really fun to see going forward. You got Kendall Cook there. She's a freshman. She's kind of has this infectious energy when you watch her. You just seem like she's having a good time out there, and you just love to see it, right? You love to see kids enjoying themselves and enjoying playing sports. So that's what we like to see here, and we like to show for you.
Well, and I also wanted to point out, I've been involved in the Game of the Week stuff for 15 years, and lots of games down there at FD Wilkinson, and the old lady's looking real nice. I mean, you can almost don't even recognize it on the, the court looks so nice, that everything's so well lit.
Yeah, and you got that stage back there too. That's where we've got our camera 3 set up there too. Yeah, but then too, just quickly about Western Hills, you could see from Coach Jeff Cody there at the end of that game, you could see really how much that meant to him to win that game against Franklin County and to move on in a championship game, which regardless of what happens tonight, they still get a berth into the region, the 11th region tournament. So they still have 2 more games. You got tonight and then the first round game in the region. So just a really tremendous accomplishment there for Western Hills and for Jeff Cody's team there.
Yeah, no, super exciting.
Okay, Harvey, we love a good book sale.
Who doesn't?
On around 10.
Get out of here if you don't.
Yeah, get out of here if you don't like books or book sales. But we've got a good one coming up next week, starting on March 1st. We've got the Friends of the Paul Sawyer Public Library's Winter Book Sale. It all takes place in the library's River Room up there, like it usually does. All hardback books are $1, paperbacks are 25 cents, and large paperbacks are 50 cents. And on Saturday, that's the really fun day, you get a whole box of of books for $5, and a bag is $2. So really, you just come in with a bag, fill it up, $2. That's all. And they'll get mad at you if you come in with too small of a bag. That has happened to me before. So bring a big bag and get you some books.
If there's ever a good IKEA and you get those big, like they're the size of like a, you bring one of those in there.
Yeah, the big blue one. Yeah. You just go to an aisle and just start
take the whole thing out.
Them into the thing.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know how they'll respond to that.
Good
We'll
idea. Put it to the test.
But yeah, things kick off Tuesday, March 1st from 3 to 6. And that's the Friends Preview Day is what they call it. So it's for actual members of the Friends of the Paul Sawyer Public Library. And they will be selling memberships at the door. Membership is $10 for a family or just $5 for an individual and $3 for seniors and students. And that's just all year. You just pay that once for a year, and you're supporting your member of Friends, and you're supporting the library.
Right, you're supporting the library, plus you get early access to the book sale. You get
and they
all
do these
the
book
good
sales
ones.
about like 4 or 5 times a year. I feel like it's not just a seasonal. I think they try to do them every like 3 months or so. It feels like every 2 months maybe. And then things continue on Wednesday and Thursday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Friday hours are 10 to 3:30. And then, like we said, Saturday, March 5th, it's 10 to 2. It's a shorter window, and that's the bag and box day. So bag and box up all the books that you would like to have there and support the library. It's all for a great cause.
All right, that's all getting going next week.
Yeah.
So keep it on your put it on your calendar. All right, we also like to spotlight when folks, when their employment opportunities, especially, especially interesting ones, and that is happening right now at Josephine Sculpture Park. They are hiring interns. Applications are open for artist and conservation outreach internships. The deadline is February 27th, so that's Sunday. So get on it if you're interested. They're seeking a conservation and outreach intern to help us manage habitat, maintain park grounds, and conduct community outreach. and environmental education programs that promote their mission to connect people with each other and the land through the arts. If interested, you may design or implement your own program or project. So that's pretty cool. Interns will also work with the art studio interns to maintain park grounds and assist with events. Internship is 20 hours per week from mid-May to mid-August. So it's a great summer opportunity for somebody.
Yeah.
Go to josephinesculpturepark.org for more information.
Yeah, and we absolutely love the Josephine Sculpture Park around here too. So yeah, definitely get on that if you're interested.
Zach, you like purple? Is that your favorite color?
It's not my favorite, but I do like it quite a bit. It makes me think of the purple one.
Okay. Oh yeah, him. Right. Cool. Well, you may have seen some purple streetlights out there. We're gonna go through this one more time, trying to educate people what's going on.
Yeah.
There are some streetlights out there that are purple, and basically it was a manufacturing defect by the company that we got these lights from. They have now failed. Nothing dangerous is happening. They're just now purple instead of white. In fact, I told Kathy on Wednesday when we were going to Charlotte, I saw some in Charlotte. So obviously they're not.
It's happening all around. Yeah.
Right. It's
I've
not
seen
just,
it around other. Yeah.
It's not just in Frankfurt. So we've got replacements, and so it's just there's so many of them out there. If you can help us track them down, we can get out there and put the new ones in. So just give Wanda McDonald a call or an email. You can see her number there and her email address on the screen. If you could give us a street address and if possible a pole number, which is on sort of at eye level of the pole, that would make it even easier and quicker for us to get out there. But yeah, if you see one around, if you like it, then okay, keep it. But most people probably prefer the normal colored lights. So give us a call and we will get those fixed up.
Yep, that's right. Harvey, let's do we talk about this every show. Let's do a little quick COVID update. Remind folks where they can get their vaccines.
Okay.
So the health department offers Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson vaccines at their clinic for COVID-19. You can call 502-564-7647 or visit fchd.org to schedule an appointment. And also a reminder, many other pharmacies also offer vaccine available daily with little to no wait time, like CVS, Walgreens, Little Clinic, other local pharmacies here in town. They also offer boosters there as well. You can just go to vaccines.gov/search, put in your zip code, and find out where you can get a vaccine if you're interested. And also another reminder about testing. It's really important right now, and it's really nice to just know that you have Monday, Wednesday, Friday from the health department at the East-West Connector from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. They do drive-through testing there. There's no pre-registration required at all. You just register on site, and results are given within 24 hours via email. And also, Frankfurt Independent Schools, they're offering drive-through testing on Mondays. Their location, 2nd Street School at 506 West 2nd Street, and that's every Monday, 3:30 p.m. to 6 p.m.
There's also opportunities to get home tests. Y'all have home
That's
tests?
right. Yeah, we
get
did.
Some
Yeah.
through. Yeah, it's just like a peace of mind that you have them there on the shelf, or in the cabinet, and you know that if you had an exposure or you're not feeling so well, that you can just do that.
Yeah, and then also another reminder here too, you can go to various pharmacies around town. I know CVS here as well is offering the N95 masks.
Oh yeah.
And you walk in and you tell them you'd like one, and then they ask how many people are in your household, and they give you, like the other day I went and they gave me 3 for each person in our household. So we had 6 for us waiting at home. So
But you can't count the dogs though.
no, the dogs or the cats are
They're
apparently
not
not
eligible for
considered eligible for these things, or else I would have walked out with a bag full.
All right. Well, that's good tips for everybody. Let's talk about what's coming up on Cable 10.
Yeah.
The person who schedules Cable 10 does a pretty good job, Zach.
I've
Do
heard
you ever
that.
tell them that?
I've heard that a few times.
Okay.
We'll make sure that we'll
Pass that
along to the person who does that.
All right, we'll get that started. Tonight, we talked about it just a little bit ago. We got the big tournament, 41st District Tournament Championships, number 1 versus number 2 in both the boys and the girls. It'll be Franklin County and Great Crossing in the girls, and Great Crossing and Western Hills on the boys
Yeah.
at 8 o'clock. I'm predicting
Oh, yeah.
Great Crossing's going down in both.
Going down in both?
Yes.
Let's go.
Lady Flyers
Homer ball.
and the Wolverines are gonna pull it out tonight.
That would be a lot of fun. Yeah, I think the Franklin County, that's a safe bet, right?
Yeah.
Joey Thacker and those girls there, the Lady Flyers, they're so good. They're usually so dominant. That's a safe pick, but
Okay.
I really like the Western Hills take too. I like them.
Do it.
They're good. They're surging.
All
And
right.
Harvey, I feel like this is one of the first times in the last couple years that we've actually got a straight up 1-2 matchup, especially
You're
on
right.
the boys' side.
It's a good point.
Yeah, because we mentioned it the other day, the last like 2 years in a row, the 4 seed has went on to win the whole thing. Mm-hmm. So they play the play-in game, and then they beat the number 1 team, and then win the tournament.
Well,
So
it seems like too with especially when it was Woodford County and the 3 Franklin County schools, the girls, there was it was basically the Flyers and the Yellow Jackets every year.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and occasionally you get somebody popping in, but they were the dominant teams. But the boys just always wide open. So
yeah, it's always been you're right.
it'll be fun to watch. So that's tonight, 6 and 8. Tomorrow we'll get you some governmental action at 1 o'clock. The City Commission work session from February 14th, and then at 4 o'clock the FPB board meeting from February 15th.
Yep.
And then on Monday we'll be back here. Well, we won't. You will at 10 o'clock with Scott and Zach, and then at 5 o'clock we'll have a live City Commission regular meeting. Now, Zach, this is very important.
Yes.
We are not going to be here on Tuesday for Fat Tuesday. Nobody will be here.
Right.
But Monday is what we call Lundi Gras instead of Mardi Gras, because Lundi is French for Monday.
Okay.
So I need some love from you guys on Monday. Okay, just at least some kind of nod towards Mardi Gras.
We can do that.
Okay.
I think we can do that. What's the apparel? Do I need to dress appropriately?
So
for said?
purple, green, and gold. Those
Okay.
are the colors.
Okay.
You can do that.
I can do that.
And-
I'm literally typing this up right now
Okay.
on the air.
All right.
Feed it.
We'll do it. So, maybe your favorite, like New Orleans cuisine. That could be the question of the day.
Okay.
I don't know. Your favorite New Orleans bounce artist. I don't know.
Ooh, I mean, it's definitely Big Frida,
I
right?
mean, I figured I was laying that up
Frida. See, this is what happens when you give Zach and Harvey just time at the end of the show when we don't really have any superseding hot topics to get to.
Correct.
So we're just kind of rapping today, talking about Big
Yeah.
Frida.
for you. Yeah.
That's what happens.
Well, I think people would probably prefer that than to hear us talk about English soccer and our the
Which
roller
we won't
coaster.
get into. We won't get into
do
our
it.
long-suffering love of Tottenham Hotspur today. Yeah, it's really, really glad people were able to join us today. A reminder too that real quick, I saw this. Gas prices are going up, Harvey.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, because of the turmoil, all the stuff going on really around the
Yeah,
world.
a lot of the.
Yep. So get out there and get your gas if you need to today.
Everybody
I'm,
rush
I'm actually
right now
I'm
out
on
and
E,
fill.
so-
I am too. I literally rolled in here on fumes. I don't even know that I can make it all the way to Kroger. I'm gonna have to fill up on my
Chug
way
a gas
out of the
can
neighborhood.
somewhere around here, and yeah.
You would think. I mean, I've rolled. Have you run out of gas before? Like literally run out of gas on the side of the road?
No, I never have. I feel like I've come close. There was one time I was coming up the hill on the connector.
You
some
felt
years
it and
ago,
missed a
and I was
couple-
like, okay, let's get to this BP that's right up here on top of the hill. Come on.
Yeah. You would think it would be something that you do once, and you're like, I'm never doing that again because that's awful, right? And no, but I think that's happened to me twice, and I still today, And I think today, these days, when you have the car that tells you how many miles you have left,
Oh yeah.
it's too much information, because then I'm like, I can calculate that, and I'm like, I can make it to work on this
Yeah.
one.
See, my
Whereas-
car's a little older. It's a 2013, so it doesn't have that. It
That's
just has
helpful.
the light,
You
and
just-
it's you're in kind of you get 25
You're in
miles or
danger.
whatever
Once
it is.
it clears
so-
the line, once it clears the bottom line, you're in danger zone. Yeah, it helps.
Yeah, it does. I don't skirt that line as much now as I used to. I used to, really ride it to the edge, like you said. But I don't. Yeah, some people are just like, nope. If it goes below quarter of a tank,
My
or half,
dad,
they fill
my
it up,
dad would be literally, if it was under a half and he was going past a gas station, he would fill up. This is how he did it. I don't know. I didn't get that from him.
Right. didn't pass over. All right. If you do not follow us on social media, you should do that. There's our Instagram. You can follow us on Facebook. Facebook.com/Cable10KY, and then you got FEWPB is the main plant board page. You can stay up to date on all the stuff going on with the Frankfurt Plant Board and all of our live streams, and which includes this show and all of our Game of the Week productions. You can also see that on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Cable10. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. Hit the bell too. Get notified every time we go live, like I do. It's always nice to just get that little notification there that it's security for us when we're out, and I know, okay, we did go live. But yeah, it's nice to know, right? You know, oh, I forgot that there was a meeting going on, or I forgot about this game. Yeah, there you go. You can check it out there. Also, don't forget to leave us comments or questions at our email, cable10@fewpb.com. Let us know what you've got going on and what you think we should talk about here on the show. It's your show. This is Frankfurt's show here in the community, so we are.
Is that what's going on?
What was happening
there?
in the hallway there, but here we are.
Yeah. Want to thank Jimmy Chadwell for
Yes.
coming by. That was great to hear from him. Such an amazing program that they have, the Voices of Hope, and if you can find a way to help support that, I think we should all try to do that.
Yeah.
VoicesOfHopeLex.org is the website.
Yep, 100%. Thank you so much, Harvey, for bringing that up. And thanks, like you said again, to Jimmy Chadwell for coming on the show. All right, it's been a fun one, Harvey. We've run the gamut here.
Yeah.
We're out of time.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Yeah, hope
Stay
everybody
warm.
enjoys it. Yeah, and it's hopefully dry this weekend. Like we said, you had your expert weather opinion here, and analysis from Zach and Harvey Storm Team.
Looking forward to fake spring. It's right around the corner.
Fake spring, let's go. Yeah, push that second winter back as far as we can go. But remember, thanks everybody for watching. And remember, if it happens around town,
It's on around 10.
Around 10 is brought to you by the Frankfurt Plant Board with support from Tim and Rebecca Hubbard, local realtors who treat you like family, and Exit Realty Crutcher, working to be the #1 real estate office in Frankfurt and throughout Kentucky.